Here we go. So yeah, good. Thank you for having me here. I'm Lars Holdensen. I'm from the Danish Agriculture Food Council. I sort of already regret my headline here because, I mean, it might be too confident. We do not really have a Danish model for organic farming. So what I will do is just to share some of my mainly personal reflections on different issues and situations that probably have influenced the development of the organic consumption and production in Denmark. So although it could be a model, since just listening to Åsa's presentation, we do have lots of comparable issues with Sweden, figures and facts and efforts done towards the organic sectors is very comparable what has been done in Sweden. Just very briefly, the Danish Agriculture Food Council, we are an organization representing both farmers and food producers. We are representing both conventional producers and organic producers. We are the one representing the most organic farmers in Denmark. So, but we also have like in Sweden, they do have pure organic associations, and we do the same in Denmark. But we are a mixed association here, organization, and that's actually one of the good things. One of the first messages I will bring, that that this fair cooperation between the conventional and the organic sector is quite important to ensure proper development also of the organic sector. I mean, we are beyond most conflicts between conventional farmers and organic farmers. There is an acknowledgement that today's conventional farmer might be tomorrow's organic farmer, and vice versa, depending on the market situation, and that's a very nice situation that we are in now. Previously we had lots of conflicts, which were basically, of course, just destroying development and the situation for both conventional and organic farmers. So this relationship and the acknowledgement between these sectors are, in my opinion, rather important. Looking at the organic agricultural land in Denmark, well, we have had a general growth and increasing organic land for quite some years. We did have a situation in the late 90s where too many farmers converted to organic production, and they was converting with a 5-year commitment. So the conversion was partly, this heavy conversion in the late 90s was partly because of good subsidies for organic conversion and production, and I believe that the organic production could just grow with no limit. But the conversion were ahead of consumption, so the result here was a surplus of organic products and far too low prices for the farmers. So after that, as you can see here, 2002, so also after the 5-year commitment, we experienced a decrease in organic land and far more precautioned farmers in order to go back into the organic production again. So it's very clear for us that the development must be market driven. We had a lesson learned back in the 19s, and that was rather expensive. Looking at the organic share of the retail market in Denmark, I mean, the figures are basically the same as the previous one, just with increasing shares. It has been rather constant, steady and slow growth. We was, to be honest, a little surprised that the previous financial crisis did not reduce the organic market share. So, but to be honest, we expect, like Sweden now, to see a reaction due to the current financial situation. But some replies indicate that the organic share is rather stable. We had replies from retail sector saying that consumers, it seems like consumers, they'll probably use the same amount of money on organic products, on organic food, but they are replacing the more expensive organic products with more cheaper organic products. So, but the market share seems to be quite stable. I will also draw attention to this figure in around 2005, because something very important happened there for the organic development in Denmark. We had this huge increase in the organic share, or rather dramatic increase in organic share from 2005, and that was the year where discount retailers entered the market and really put a focus on organic production. So I'll get back to retailers later on, because they played such an important role in the organic development. But first, it was high-end supermarket going into the organic production. But in 2005, it was definitely the discount supermarket promoting organic, and they are among the most important players at the organic scene in Denmark today. So these are just the figures, and of course these are some of the figures for the reason that we are interested in this meeting, that we had the highest market share in consumption. It's also a fact that nearly all Danes, more than 93%, buy organic products from time to time, and 55% of all Danes, they bought organic every single day in 2020. So we are world champion in organic consumption, and it could be asked if it might just be decorative feathers, but to be honest, we also believe that this fact is a motivation for the Danish organic sector to be in the top. So it's not really important, but on the other hand, we really enjoy being world champions, and it is helping, motivating policy works, farmers, retailers to be. We are a small country, so we need some of these success stories, of course. So it seemed like a common understanding among stakeholders, retail and politicians, that we should cultivate this, and we should proudly stay in the top of the organic consumption list, so to speak. So I mentioned before the discount retail. Retail is a key factor for the organic consumption and the awareness of organic production. Right now, and it has been for at least for the past 10 years, I believe, it appears that there is a clear strategy for all the retail corporations that they should offer lots of different organic products. And preferably they should offer organic products cheaper than their competitors. Some of the organic products now in Danish retailers are in price very comparable with the conventional alternatives, and or just rather cheap. We saw the figures from Åse before saying the market shares on carrots, oatmeal, potatoes, and milk, eggs. I mean, they are very high in Denmark as well, due to the reduced or the very limited price gap between organic and conventional. Organic eggs, I just grabbed in some photos here from this week's commercials from supermarkets. Organic eggs, they are often on promotion sale to attract consumers, and the prices here, I mean, they are almost half price what was actually expected to pay for 10 or 20 eggs. So supermarkets are using organic products to attract consumers, giving big offers on some of them. Just to clarify, retail here, I mean, they have the far largest share. They're the one selling the most organic products. Food service is growing, whereas food markets, farm shops, I mean, they are rather limited. We do not have traditional food markets in Denmark, like seen in I believe more seen in Southern Europe. We basically, all of us just go to supermarkets to buy our food. So the organic in food service, that's increasing as well. We do have a target that 60% of food in public kitchen should be organic Yeah, there is an awareness and an acceptance of organic production in the food sector. Lots of canteens or restaurants are adopting our national logo. We do have, as you see down left in the screen, we do have this system that canteens can apply for, indicating how much organic products they do have in their kitchen. So this is growing. This year we just reached a bit more than 3,500 large-scale kitchens that have this Danish organic eating out label, and this is constantly increasing. But as I just showed you just also before, the food service sector is a minor playing when it comes to the overall consumption and the overall production of organic food in Denmark. We did some calculations year ago saying that indicating that even though that if we converted all public kitchens and restaurants into organic production, or not restaurants but all the public kitchens, hospitals, schools, nursery homes, etc., I mean, the impact on the total organic area in Denmark would be rather limited. I mean, it was surprisingly disappointing how little that conversion would affect how much more organic land would be needed to feed that sector. So the conversion of organic land in Denmark should not be driven by, or will not be driven by, the food service sector, but mainly by our own consumption in retail, and in particular by exporting. We are exporting the majority, or of some products, the vast majority of the organic products to different parts of Europe, but also to third countries. I will also here just share with you what retailers call the organic stairs in Denmark. This data is from one of our retailers that did a survey on consumer behavior when it comes to organic products, and they experience quite clearly that consumers start buying, for instance, organic milk, eggs, fruit, and vegetables due to different reasons. And then when they first started to buy organic products, they will most likely move up the stairs. And they also conclude in the retail that it is far more likely consumers would still be moving up the stairs than that they will be taking a step backwards. So it appears that when consumers are on this level, starting buying, for instance, organic oatmeal, it is very unlikely that they will go back and buy conventional oatmeal. So that's of course that is quite interesting for us, that we do have some consumers, and we do have some clear expectation of a rather stable home market here. Well, yeah, this is just to share with you. You probably know, of course, that we are a small country, but we do have a rather high percentage of agricultural production. We have young and good soils, and we have a climate that are very suitable for agriculture. So for that reason, all the brown stuff here on this map, that's covered by agriculture. So it's rather heavy, actually, this production. And we did a map here, is just showing, I mean, if we split it up, I mean, how much land would the different production parts occupy of Denmark. And as you see here in the top of Denmark, if that should cover the whole pig production, conventional pig production accounts for 22% of the total area in Denmark. So we are rather intensive, and this intensity, I mean, that has historically also creates quite a lot of attention from environmental NGOs and animal welfare organizations. It is obvious that the very intense agricultural production could affect the environment to a larger extent. and also the fact that this intense, to be honest, conventional animal production, I mean, that also draws some attention from animal welfare NGOs, arguing that, especially years ago, arguing against cage production, cage hens, cage pigs, cage everything, even though, I mean, pigs were not in cage, but I mean, that's the impression among Danish consumers, that the conventional, the impression of within lots of the Danish consumers is that animal welfare could be better in conventional production, and yeah, so that's the situation. I mean, and that's probably due to the fact that we are a quite intense agricultural country. So some people are proud of our agricultural production, but there's also a clear opposition to this intensive production. This opposition is in general good agitators and promoters for organic farming, and that's the key message here. That I think I'll have this on the next slide here. That it is widely accepted that organic production is the better compromise in relation to sustainability, environmental issues, and animal welfare. So, I mean, that was, of course, a quite hard lesson for the agriculture sector due to these inputs and efforts from environmental NGOs and animal welfare NGOs. But for the organic sector, this is just, I mean, this is a clear fact that if you are affected by campaigns by animal welfare NGOs or environmental NGOs, you will most likely have confidence in that the organic production is a better compromise, and that will, of course, push consumers in the direction of organic production. So we ask, not like the Swedes. I mean, we know if we were asking what would be the most important when you buy food, economy would probably go up high, probably as the highest one. But we are often asking Danes, why do they buy why do they buy organic food? And they are arguing that this is mainly first on list is protection on the environment and drinking water, especially with concerns on pesticides. Second would be good animal welfare, just completely in line with what I mentioned before about the inputs from environmental and animal welfare NGOs. So high food safety, of course, is also important. An overall focus on sustainability is also an argument. Then we also have a clear indication that there's a very high consumer confidence in the organic food production and food systems due to the state certification system. It is the Danish state that are certifying and doing inspections on organic farms. Yeah, so for many consumers, organic production, organic food is just the easy answer to all the problems. I will try to do this very quick because, I mean, we've had some lists on different development issues that are important from the Danish development, but the first thing I'll do here is just to mention that in 1985 we started to have some of the first very intense political interest in environmental issues. And these, of course, have been supportive for the early organic development. So we already started to do advisory service in 85, motivated by that. If we're just moving a few years forward, we found in the middle of the 80s, we had some issues with some dead lobsters that were found in waters due to depleted oxygen creation, creating water. These dead lobsters that were found in waters due to depleted oxygen in the water. They created some water protection action plans, national action plans, and that also just put more focus on environmental issues that would be supportive for the growth of the organic sector. In 1993, we had the first commercial breakthrough in cooperative food stores in retail. That was the more high-end retails, but I mean they were beginning there in 1993. Also, quite early in 1987, the biggest Danish dairy, or Arla now, I mean, they started to include and collect organic milk. So, and that was one of the first steps towards accepting organic to be something else than just something for, you know, the impression of a hippie production. So this was accepted now by one of the absolutely biggest companies in Denmark. Just moving to 1995. Denmark, the Danish authority were one of the first countries to implement on an action plan, organic action plan for development the organic sector. So this is the first step of something very important. This governmental and policy supply indicating that the organic is part of a national strategy. So I mentioned before 2005, that was where the retailer, the discount retailers started to pay more attention to organic. The store called Netto have this slogan called "Everyone can afford to buy organic." So they were including more organic products and selling them to a rather low and attractive price. So in 2012, we had a second action plan for organic production. In 2009, we had the first objective for organic farming, said that we should double the organic land within 2020. And in 2012, it was supported by an action plan that should help this doubling and also put a target on 60% organic food in public kitchens. Yeah, well, there was a new national action plan in 2020 with some supplements. In 2018, we did have a new national growth plan for organics with 39 initiatives from the government, and with a new target of doubling the organic land area within 2030, reaching 20% organic land. So so this was rather quick, but the important thing here was just to mention that that we have had national targets and we have had national objectives presented and supported by shifting governments. So this is rather stable. Looking into the Danish policy systems, that no matter if you have a blue or a red government, I mean, they will support the development of the organic sector. And of course, that is a key issue if you want to do a stable growth in the organic sector. We are now waiting for a new national strategy that should help us to reach these 20% within 2030. Yeah, this is as I just mentioned, the most recent initiative would be the Action Plan 2020. We also offer conversion checks for conventional farmers to have a check free of charge on the farm to see if conversion to organic could be suitable for them. We also helping converting public kitchens, just like I mentioned from our colleague from Luxembourg. There are some initiatives that could help kitchens convert into organic. I mean, public kitchens, of course. We are doing lots of marketing and information campaigns in Denmark. We are doing export promotion. We do have help for the organic production on the National Finance Act. Some of the money would just be supporting money from the Common Agricultural Policy, but we would also have organic farming on the Finance Act. So money are given to do organic research, and there are other money given to do development projects, just like mentioned in Sweden, or for conversion check of the organic farms or the organic kitchen. So these will be supported by Danish money or from CAP money. Yeah, I'll just mention here also that the Danish organic farmers, of course, they receive additional subsidies for cultivating organic fields. I mean, that's approximately 116 euros per hectare. During the 2 years of conversion, they'll get 2,020 euros per hectare. And to my knowledge, I mean, this is very comparable to other member states. Some member states are giving less money, some of them are giving more money, but it is our impression that this is not, I mean, this is not the driver. The subsidies here during conversion or even just to keep producing organic, that's not the driver to keep the organic farmers. That's the market situation that will do the business. Just very briefly on the Organic Agriculture Fund, that was the one that just received 6.5 million for 6 million for the next 3 years. I mean, they are open to do projects on different issues. That could be, I mean, they have 6 support areas in 2023. One would be agricultural production in general. I mean, that would probably be initiatives in order to increase organic yields, export promotion, national market situation, knowledge and competences, conversion of kitchens is a specific focus area, and then plant-based food is another new area that will be included in the organic projects in 2030. Promotion and market development are key issues in this. We are, as I mentioned before, we are aiming at a market-driven development, of course, but we will gladly try to influence the market through promotion, and that was the same impression that I got from my Swedish colleague, that I mean, it is important to do information on organic production in order to stimulate the market and to stimulate the demand for organic products. So we'll gladly help and spend money on doing promotions in Denmark and also abroad. This is not more important than I should just remember to mention and make completely clear that certifications and inspections are 100% free for farmers and companies. So it should be, the Danish government are trying to make it as easy as possible and with as few obstacles as possible to go into the organic production systems. So we're coming towards the end. This is basically just headlines. I think what is important here is that the Danish development, the Danish organic development, is based on a very big cooperation between different stakeholders. That would be, of course, the food companies, the farmers, and in particular the consumers, and then policymakers that should help supporting this. A very important issue here is that the market and politics, they should of course be pointing in the same direction. And we've been lucky to have that in Denmark, since we now have organic strategies for quite a few years based on governmental initiatives, and then we do have a retail sector that are strongly supporting these initiatives. So just yeah, to sum up, I mean, I mentioned the market and policies must point in the same direction. We are motivated by the high market share of organic production. We do consider that we do have a well-established organic sector, but of course we aim to develop it further. We do have targets. Yeah. I think that would just basically be the conclusions here, that the outcome of this is the collaboration of all levels here. That's really a key driver for the Danish organic development, in my opinion. Thank you.